Income systems don't usually collapse. They slow first. They feel heavier. They take more attention to produce the same result. Momentum thins. Output becomes inconsistent. And what once felt like flow starts feeling like maintenance. That sensation isn't motivation loss. It isn't discipline failure. It's energy leaving the system. Every income system runs on movement. Value moving. Attention moving. Demand moving. Capital moving. When that movement weakens, the system doesn't break. It leaks. And leaks are harder to see than breaks. Because most people are trained to look for failure in outcomes. Lower sales. Lower reach. Lower profit. Lower consistency. But income systems don't lose power at the surface. They lose power inside. They lose it where work is converted into progress, where effort becomes motion, where motion becomes results. That conversion layer is where energy lives. Energy, in systems terms, is not motivation. It's not excitement. It's not hustle. Energy is usable movement. It's how easily input becomes output, how directly action becomes leverage, how little friction stands between a decision and a result. When energy is high, small actions travel far. When energy is low, large actions go nowhere. This is why two people can work equally hard and experience opposite realities. One makes a small change and sees effects ripple. The other adds more labor and watches nothing shift. The difference is not strategy, intelligence, or timing. It is whether their system still transfers energy forward. Every income system has transfer points, places where something must move from one form to another. Time into assets, ideas into products, products into distribution, distribution into attention, attention into transactions, transactions into retained value. Each transfer is a gate, and every gate can either pass energy forward or absorb it. Most systems don't fail because they lack components. They fail because too much energy is lost at the gates. Energy loss happens when effort turns into administration instead of movement, when complexity replaces direction, when coordination replaces creation, when maintenance replaces building. It happens when the system begins feeding itself instead of producing outcomes. Meetings feeding meetings. Content feeding content. Offers feeding offers. Optimizations feeding optimizations. Motion without displacement. The system looks active, but nothing is traveling. Another major energy leak is dependency concentration. When too many functions depend on one person, one tool, one channel, or one decision point, energy compresses. Everything queues. Everything waits. Everything slows. Speed drops. Risk rises. And growth becomes fatigue. The system isn't scaling. It's stretching. And stretched systems don't move energy well. They dissipate it. Energy also leaks through unclear paths. If movement inside the system is not obvious, nothing accelerates. If outputs are not clearly fed into new inputs, nothing compounds. If success does not automatically strengthen the structure, nothing builds. You get isolated wins instead of reinforcing ones. Progress that doesn't stack. This is why some people experience income as a series of sprints, while others experience it as a current. Currents exist when every gain increases future motion. Sprints exist when every gain resets the effort requirement. The moment a system requires the same intensity to produce the same result, energy has stopped compounding. It may still function, but it is no longer alive. Living systems increase usable movement. Dead systems consume it. Another subtle place energy disappears is in interpretation. When humans must constantly explain, clarify, translate, customize, rescue, and reroute, energy is being burned just to keep movement possible. Every explanation is friction. Every exception is heat loss. Every rescue is a sign the path itself is broken. Systems that move energy well don't require heroics. They reduce the need for explanation. They make the next step obvious. They allow motion to continue without persuasion. This is why mature systems feel less emotional, less urgent, less dramatic, because energy is not being spent to keep things alive. It is being stored and redirected. Most income systems don't need more tactics. They need energy restoration, which doesn't mean motivation. It means structural repair. It means widening gates, clarifying paths, removing internal friction, reducing dependency compression, reconnecting outputs back into inputs. It means redesigning where effort goes after it is spent. Because effort that does not change the system is fuel burned into heat. Effort that reshapes the system becomes momentum, and momentum is stored energy. This is where the real work of income design begins. Not at the surface, not in the offers, not in the tools, but in tracing where movement slows, where results stop feeding forward, where progress stops strengthening the machine, where wins stop making the next win easier. Those points are not weaknesses. They are where leverage is hiding. And in the next layer, we move directly into them. Because once you can see where energy leaves a system, you can also see exactly where to rebuild it.